Hello, everybody, to all you crusty little munchkins out there. Back at it again with another episode of the Fantasy Simpletons, a fantasy football show. I am your host, Kyle Fridlin. Joining me, as always, is my brother and co-host, Jake Fridlin. Jake, what up, what up, what up?
What up? What up, Kyle? How's it going?
It's going pretty good, man. We're getting into the thick of it.
Oh, yeah.
The thick of it.
Week three. Whew.
Start, flex, sits.
Let's go.
It's what we're getting into, and we're going to get into it as quickly as we can. First, a couple ground rules. Some people that you won't see in this are some of the top players at their position. You're not going to see guys like Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Jamar Chase, Brock Bowers. These are guys you're going to be starting no matter what. These are going to be more of conversation guys that maybe you should be worried about starting. Maybe you're on the edge teetering start sit, or maybe flex. We got that for every team, every single game.
Yes, we do.
I'm ready.
Yeah, let's get into it, man.
Let's get straight into it. We are going to do Thursday night football matchup first. We have the Dolphins taking on the Bills. The first thing I actually want to talk about real quick is if you see Tyreek Hill down at the bottom, I implore everybody watching this, he is my sit of the week. Just at any position.
Washed.
Even at his best, he has been historically bad against the Bills. The Bills just know how to cover this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's always consistently under 80 yards, 70 yards, 60 yards. He gets only half of his targets. There have been many games where he only has 2 or 3 receptions in the number of times he's faced them while a Miami Dolphin.
Yeah.
And this is not the best version of Tua or Hill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hill hasn't caught a ball over 30 yards this season. I mean, hey, it's only been 2 weeks. But his bread and butter is long bomb, receptions. And the fact that he's not getting that should be concerning, I think, moving forward.
I have to check back to the stats. There might have been a chance they officially broke that in this last game. But even then, it changes completely what we think about a guy where that was his whole MO. That was his thing. So just for me personally, and I implore other people, he was already kind of in a wide receiver 2 flex spot anyways. Don't play him against the Bills. It's just never been a great matchup for him. As far as everyone else on the Dolphins, not a lot of starts outside of Devon Achane, simply because of volume alone as both a runner and a pass catcher. But this team has not looked too great over the last couple of games.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike some other guys here.
Yep.
We got James Cook in the start, and I'm sure everybody's going to be starting him after what he's done after these last couple weeks here.
Oh, yeah. Dude, so good.
Dude,
Everyone was undervaluing this guy, saying that, he last year was a fluke. He had the most touchdowns out of any running back last year. And you know what? Going into this year, he's one of the best running backs you could get.
He's leading again.
Leading again. A ton of touchdowns already. You can't go wrong with James Cook. Okay. And, obviously we don't even have Josh Allen because he's an automatic start every week.
Yeah.
So that's why we just have James Cook. But as far as the other guys go, I'm still higher on Coleman. But I do believe he should be in this flex position.
I think flex is a solid position for him. Last week was more of a weird week for the Bills. They were just up by a lot of points, so they didn't rely on Josh Allen the pass game too much. They were just running it as much as they could.
Yeah.
Even then, Coleman had 3 targets, 3 catches.
Yeah.
In an offense where nobody really produced. So he's still being looked at by Josh Allen. So I want to see a bit more of a balanced game, an in-betweener, to see where he really falls on just an average week of fantasy.
Yeah, same here. And I think that's the big thing for week 3 going into it, for for all these flex guys, you know, will they actually take the next step up, or should they be looked at as flex, you know,
Yeah.
potentially even sits moving forward? We have to kind of wait and see there. And it's the same with Shakir, you know. He hasn't really shown a ton of production this season. Um, but it's just him and Coleman out there, pretty much. So you you kind of got to figure that. And since last year, he was the top target on the team. Um, we kind of want to see that moving forward.
Yeah.
And this could be the game, but we'll have to wait and see.
We're just kind of in that point right now, just a couple weeks in. We're just trying to gather data and see what we can on what's like the consistency of these players.
Hmm.
That's what makes it so interesting.
Oh
But we're
yeah.
going to move straight on here into the Falcons going up against the Panthers. Is known for a fact right now. Both Drake London and Darnell Mooney, they're healthy right now. Going up against one of the most poor defenses in the league. I'd say Penix is a bit of a cautionary, risky start. Drake London is
Hmm.
an automatic start, but we'll still have to see on the other guys because watching the last couple of games, not a lot of throwing the ball, or at least not a lot of like big shots being taken when throwing the ball.
Yeah, I agree. Um, yeah, I mean, you can't sleep on London, obviously. Um, and hopefully this is a better matchup, but you know, the Panthers don't have a terrible defense. So it should be kind of interesting to see what these guys can do.
You can see. There's just they were pretty bad last year, and the last first couple weeks hasn't been too encouraging.
Hmm.
So it still has to be seen whether or not how good their defense can actually be, because it
Yeah,
just hasn't been good so far.
true. And hey, maybe that's me speaking from um like what I haven't seen, because I honestly have not watched the Panthers too much this year.
Dude, they're tough to
Um,
watch.
yeah,
It's
I
it's
know offensively they're pretty bad, but
it's been a little rough because I remember, and we can move on to the Panthers here because I saw that game against the Cardinals where the Cardinals were practically giving them the ball on a silver platter.
hmm
Like they went down, got a couple drives, they recovered an onside kick. Every other play seemed to be a penalty against the Cardinals in the last minute of that game. But the offense, there was just nothing. They probably ran about 20 plays and got 5 yards.
yeah.
And I wish I was joking. That's what it felt like. So right now, outside of Tet McMillan and Chuba Hubbard, the rest of the guys, Bryce Young, Jatavian Sanders, Xavier Legette, even Hunter Renfro, who's been starting to look good the last couple of weeks, they're all in a sit spot until further notice.
hmm Yeah, 100% agree. Tech seems to be the guy getting all the targets,
Yeah.
and Hubbard's been pretty consistent this year, everything that I've seen, and
He's been
fantasy wise. So
he's been getting saved a little bit though. Some of these like fourth quarters, he's been getting like receiving touchdowns.
mm,
So it's still a case of this is a team down by a lot of points. So the
yeah,
run game isn't really going a lot. So he's been saved on some receptions.
hmm
But even in that, he's still startable.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
gotta start him, man.
you got to start. And McMillan's actually been very, very solid. He looks like he's
Mhm.
easily the alpha target there.
Exactly.
Can look like a top 15 wide receiver by the end of the season.
Yep. Completely agree. I actually quickly just to note, I dropped Xavier Legette in one of my dynasty leagues.
Yeah. He has just been that bad.
Yeah, it's a little bit concerning for him, especially because he wasn't really that great last year. So
All right, we're going to move on here to the Packers going up against the Browns. Now, the only thing that concerns me with the Browns in this matchup is the Packers defense looks legit right now. Through 2 weeks, they have completely shut down the Lions. They shut down the Commanders pretty well, too. This is a scary looking defense. And because of that, I have a lot of people that are in flex or sit category on the Brown side of things, with the slight exception of Quinshawn Judkins. To all the people that went out there and they drafted him in their double-digit rounds, I remember I did that in a couple leagues and people made fun of me for doing it. To all the people that took that risk, your risk paid off. Because he came out on the field on 4 days of practice and he took majority of the carries. They looked good. And I think it's just obvious. He's just going to be their guy moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah, he did look good. He made a couple for sure one pretty nice run that I saw a highlight of, like breaking the tackle and keeping himself on his feet. So he just looks like the guy, and they drafted him to be that guy. So yeah, he's intriguing moving forward. And then definitely makes sense to have the rest of the guys in that flex position, for the most part. I think I was so disappointed in Tillman's production this last game.
He did get very lucky off of a tipped touchdown catch, but it was just we'll have to see. He's still not their number one receiver. They're still throwing it to the tight ends.
He had a lot of targets. It just wasn't
wasn't working.
It wasn't working. His reception count was just way off, and so we'll see what happens. But definitely going against this Green Bay defense, bro, it's gonna be kind of rough.
With that Micah Parsons, dude.
Oh
my gosh, he even on limited stuff, he looks crazy good. There's not too much to say on the Packers side. It's basically kind of the same as the week prior. I know with Jaden Reed being out 6 to 8 weeks, maybe it might open some stuff up for Golden and Dobbs and Dontavian Wicks to get some opportunities. But I mean, Golden has what, 2 catches in 2 games? Like there's just not enough production to go off of to give him a recommendation outside of Mr. Mac and Cheese himself, Tucker Kraft, who had looked super good against the Commanders. And I think with all these tight ends getting up there and doing really well, Tucker Kraft is one of them where it's like he might be the closest thing they have to Jordan Love's best receiving option.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think outside of him, it's so up in the air, especially with Jaden Reed out for a little while. With that ankle injury, I think it was an ankle injury, right? Something.
It was something, kept him out 6 to 8 weeks. I have to look at the injury again.
No.
I think it was.
Was it?
It was
Did he break his collarbone?
like. Oh,
I know he had an ankle injury. Then he broke his collarbone. Right?
It was broke his collarbone. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So yeah, obviously, so yeah, with him being out, it's up in the air. Will Golden make that next step? Will it be Dobbs? And there's other wide receivers we don't even have on the board here, like Wicks and.
Oh man, got to get that Christian Watson hype.
Even deeper guys. Yeah. Honestly, but yeah, so definitely I don't think it'd be right to take a chance on any one of those guys just because you don't really know who it's going to be. So it makes sense to sit them.
Yeah. But this is a desperation, and who knows, Green Bay is looking to become one of the better teams in the league right now. We can just move straight on here, though, to what might be an ugly game. This is the Texans and the Jaguars. If you notice on both sides, I don't have a strong enough start option for either team. And there's a couple reasons for that. If on the Texans side, just from pure offensive, let's just say failure, they have looked very bad on offense through 2 games. They've only scored 2 touchdowns, the 2 in the last game. The run game hasn't gotten going at all outside of Nico Collins. The pass game hasn't been going. We'll see if Christian Kirk coming back can maybe change that, but even against a bad defense like the Jaguars, I'm just not convinced in that offensive line.
No.
And on the Jaguars side, you're facing one of the best defenses in the league. A defense that has been very stingy in keeping down both the ground game and the pass game. So there are still some flex options there, but for the most part, sit Trevor Lawrence, sit Travis Hunter, Diami Brown, who I actually think is a really nice piece that's been emerging. I thought of him as a possible sleeper option.
I agree.
He's a sit as well.
Yeah, definitely still a sit. And just a quick note, we obviously have Nico Collins starting.
Yeah, Nico Collins is an obvious start.
And so that's why we didn't list him. Just in case
He's
that
like,
logic isn't clear.
He will be 75% of their passing game.
Yeah. But everyone else it's just rough. Praying for Joe Mixon to make his way back. But we'll see. Because
what are your thoughts on Brian Thomas Jr. right now?
Dude,
it hasn't looked good.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't. I think there's just a lot more going on. I think with the emergence of Brendan Strange and
Travis Hunter's been taking targets. They have a lot of stuff.
Hunter's been taking some targets
designed for him.
Yep, and then ETN's been taking some targets too. I think it's just I think it's just a bit busier than it was last year, quite frankly. So I think that could be affecting him, but I don't know. It does seem off. It's weird that they wouldn't be leaning on him more, you know?
I think there might also be because I looked into some of the plays. He actually in the last game had 12 targets. So it was one of those big changes, but only 4 receptions on 12 targets. So there's some sort of disconnect that's happening right now that is making me a little bit more worried. Then there's reports coming out that he has a wrist injury, but that wasn't reported on before the week, like as if the Jaguars were trying to hide the fact. Does that play a part in it? Yeah. It's a messy situation right now. So a player that you'd probably drafted to be a top 10 receiver, right now he's fallen a little bit, and because of this defense he's facing, I'm not super confident in his production. I own him in a league. I'm still playing him because it's early in the season and he has that talent, but I'm not confident about it.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but we'll have to see. I would say don't lose hope, and I think most people are still, starting him, and you should. But depending on who you have, you might want to consider based off the matchups, if you want to start him or not, right?
Yeah. But here we go, Jake. This is the matchup we've all been waiting for. It is backup QB galore. It's Jake Browning going up against the Carson Wentz-led Vikings. I think a lot of people know by now the Joe Burrow injury that's going to keep him out for minimum 3 months. But JJ McCarthy suffered an ankle sprain and is going to be out 2 to 4 weeks. So now Carson Wentz is making the start. I would have been really confident on both sides to have most starters in this one, but with the movement of a lot of backup QBs, I'm not really sure on a lot of pieces right now.
Yeah, I totally get that. I think that Browning, he could do well.
He could
do well, but as to be decided. against this pretty good Vikings defense.
He
So
also had multiple. Sorry, he also had multiple interceptions. I think he had 3 interceptions in the Jaguars game.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty shaky. Yeah, I think it makes sense to sit him here for sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's been tough for me.
It's just
To
one of
be
those things, man.
Yeah, it's tough when players weren't already doing well with Joe Burrow in. Now that their backup's in, like what's gonna happen? So,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think I think it's easy to explain it this way. I think some pieces will. Jamar Chase is going to be fine. Jamar Chase, he got hyper targeted the last time Jake Browning played. If anything, he could do just as well as he did with Joe Burrow. T. Higgins is a little bit up in the air. I remember the last time Jake Browning came in, because he hyper targeted Jamar Chase so much, it left kind of a down year for T. Higgins. And Chase Brown, I think, is still a start for me, but every week I'm getting a little bit more cautious because now without Joe Burrow there, is the offense going to affect him differently? He already technically wasn't doing great on a yards per carry metric like in the first couple weeks. He's getting a lot of carries, but not a huge amount of production. So I think for that, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
On the Vikings side, Jordan Mason, with Aaron Jones now out, he was officially put on IR after the game against the Falcons. Jordan Mason is my start of the week at running back. This guy can go. He's really good. Every time I watch him run, he's bursting out for big runs. He's a tough runner. I think he can get to 100 yards in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm totally with you. It's pretty much just him. I know they re-signed Cam Akers, but come on. And that's kind of ridiculous in and of itself.
Yeah.
That they re-signed him, even though, because I'm pretty sure they've re-signed him like this is his third time being re-signed to the Vikings. But yeah, Mason is a must start, I think. He's such a hard runner, so I think he can make a really big difference in this offense and kind of help them push it out, especially with Wentz as the starter this week. I see them handing it off to Mason quite a bit here, personally.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that. Hawkins and Thielen, we'll just keep them as sit for right now. Their production has not been there at all. With JJ McCarthy in, I don't think it will change with Wentz in.
Oh, yeah.
But we need to start getting to some matchups that are a bit more interesting, a bit more complex, where you got to figure it out a little bit. We got the Steelers going up against the Patriots. Automatic start for the Patriots side, Drake May. Drake May has been great for fantasy after these first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And there's already discussions. If you have him in your lineup or on your roster, there's already discussions of should he be a guy that you consider starting week to week, depending on who the matchup is. He might be a top 10 quarterback this year.
Yeah. He really could be. He has so many options.
Yeah.
Really, if you look at it. His options are so interesting to me. The fact that one of the guys they drafted is to be one of their top receivers is their fourth string receivers. It's interesting, right? Kyle Williams. We don't even have him on the board because he's kind of fantasy irrelevant, but it's just kind of interesting that seeing how many options they have. I think that helps. I think that helps
Drake
Drake
May
a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's the biggest advantage for Drake May. I think it's the biggest weakness for the rest of the team because there's so many options.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I would maybe have Stephon in flex just because he is Stephon Diggs, and
Yeah,
I feel like he commands certain targets, even though he hasn't really been um, super well for fantasy. But uh, that's just me. But I can understand him being a sit. Um,
I think it's just after the first 2 weeks, what we've seen, he hasn't even been on the field for a huge chunk of time. It's been like he gets 50, he's gotten like 50 to 60% of the snaps so far.
yeah,
Maybe it's him still recovering from that injury, but for right now, depending on what your options are at receiver, I don't think a lot of people are going to be in that option to force to put him in. I think people are going to have more options than him. That's why I think it's best to put him as a sit for right now.
true. Yeah. No, I'm with that.
And the last game with Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson, it kind of shifted my expectations of what Henderson might do this season. Only early on, because Ramondre Stevenson had a really good game. He had a great amount of rushing yards, but he also had 5 receptions for over 50 yards.
Hmm.
That is a little bit like, okay, if they're working him into the pass game, that hurts Henderson a little bit. And I know they actually took Henderson out for a little bit of the game because he was causing multiple holding penalties while pass blocking.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Hmm.
going to be little things like that, especially in a Mike Vrabel led coaching team. He doesn't tolerate huge amount of mistakes. So if
Yeah,
Travion Henderson makes mistakes like those, it's not going to be easy for him to get on the field.
sure. Yeah, I think a lot of people have been sleeping on Ramondre. You know,
Yeah, he's a
like
gross pick.
he is, but he's still around. Like uh, you can't forget that, and the fact that Travion is still a rookie. You can't forget that he's going to make mistakes. A lot of these rookie running backs have been making mistakes in the last couple weeks. Um, so yeah, I think that can't forget about Ramondre. He could still be fantasy relevant. So
Yeah.
definitely watch this week, and I would have him as a fringe flex for sure.
Even on the Steelers side of things, not too much to talk about here. They didn't look too particularly great against the Seahawks offensively. I'd still have Tyler Warren as a possible flex option. He's actually been doing surprisingly pretty well the
Mhm.
last couple of weeks, so I'd ride with him if you have him. And Metcalf, kind of the same. I'm not enthused with his production yet, though. It's been kind of muted.
Yeah.
Like it's been okay, but he's not getting the targets that I thought he would the first
Mhm.
couple of games here.
Yeah. I think the big thing is because I agree with you, but I think he's been showing um, that connection with Rogers. Like he's Rogers' guy, as
Mm,
opposed to um, Calvin Austin. He went off week one, and people were like, "Oh, is Calvin Austin going to be a guy that's going to be used?" Well, last game that was not the case at all.
he dropped a pass that got intercepted in the end zone, and Rodgers let him know about it in a press conference
Oh
after.
yeah,
He
but
basically, most
that was
quarterbacks
bad.
will be like, it's my fault. I should have been better. Not Aaron. Aaron's just like, yeah, he knows what he did wrong.
Yeah, and you could see it on Calvin's face after he did that. When he was on the sidelines, he was like he didn't want to look at Rodgers because he was so mad. It's pretty crazy, but even outside of that, he didn't really get many targets.
Yeah,
So I think that's encouraging for Metcalf, knowing that he's he's gained the respect of Rodgers enough to have that consistent play. Um, so I do like him in the start category.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Uh, this I don't like this game. We're gonna move on here, and this is the Rams against the Eagles. We need to talk about the Eagles real quick. We need to talk about what's happening with this offense. Jalen Hurts through 2 games has only about 250 passing yards combined. This is weird. This is not normal. This is not a normal NFL team. They've taken a run heavy emphasis on the heavy offense last
Mm,
season, and they've almost doubled down on it. They've only been relying on Saquon, Jalen Hurts rushing, and the tush push almost
yeah,
exclusively. It's wild.
it is wild.
If
Yeah.
we're going off a 17 game pace, Jalen Hurts is on pace for around 2,500 passing yards. That's not. You can't. You can. How dare you? How dare you, Jalen Hurts? It
Uh-huh.
makes me very worried about AJ Brown and Devontae Smith throughout this whole season because we haven't seen anything like this before.
Yeah,
I
it is tough. It's tough to watch as a fantasy manager with for these guys. You know, part of me thinks it will turn around, right? Because AJ Brown, for as long and Devontae Smith, for as long as for as long as they've been on the team, right? They've been consistent with the targets that they've gotten over the
Yeah,
years. Um, so part of me thinks that they're going to work back into that, but then I don't know. It's just tough going off 2 games with it being like pretty bad, you know.
and they're 2-0.
Yeah.
That's the worst part. If this team keeps
Right.
winning football games like this, they're gonna think of it as like, oh, don't change anything, just keep going the way we're going.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's the most worrying part.
Yeah. It is tough.
So I think for right now, we can't. I mean, probably more Brown as a flex option than Smith. Even with
Mhm.
Goddard out, they didn't get targeted a lot. There just wasn't a lot of throws going their way. We're just gonna have to see how this develops moving forward.
Mhm.
But I do want to see what actually happens out of this. And next week, if this continues, I need to put Jalen Hurts in here too, because I used to have him in that category of like, oh, he's an automatic start because he's got a guaranteed rushing touchdown every week. Not if he doesn't throw passes.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, it's a tough one, but
This is a developing story.
yeah, you definitely want to weigh your options over these guys as elite as they have been in the past. Like, you know, you might want to consider starting, the Ricky Pearsaws or, um, you know,
To any option,
even any option.
a Mecca.
Cortland Sutton, a lot of,
Oh yeah,
well, especially Corden, but you know what I mean. The lower level guys, you want to weigh your options here for sure. Yeah,
yeah. I'd play Bears receivers over the Eagles right now.
yeah, yeah.
And on the Rams side of things, they haven't looked too amazing on offense either. First
Hmm.
couple weeks, yeah, Nakua's an automatic start. Stafford, I think because of the injuries
Hmm.
the last couple of weeks to certain quarterbacks, it kind of moved him into more of a start position. It's just going to be rough a little bit
Yeah,
going up against the Eagles. But
yeah.
Nakua is strong enough and Adams is strong enough to where they probably should beat that. Williams is who I'm more concerned about because he's in a similar vein of Chase Brown where he's getting a lot of carries, but the production hasn't been too strong where it's like, 20 carries on 60 to 70 rushing yards. So now he's going up against an Eagles defensive line that's probably one of, if not the strongest in football. So I just don't know. He's a flex. Unless he gets a touchdown, he's not going to have a good day.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, what do you think about um, Blake Corum coming in last game?
I, hope is the strongest thing you have as a fantasy manager. Like with Blake Corum, it was a little surprising to see that because they hadn't done that before
Mhm.
at any point last season or in the
Totally.
last
It
game.
seemed um, pretty random. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I'm hoping it's an outlier. If they start taking away his goal line carries, then that is actually a legit thing to panic about because
Yeah.
that's a big part of his production.
It is. I wouldn't say we should be worried necessarily long term because he has that contract,
Yeah,
Kyron. But that's true. If they do become a 1-2 back, and it's too early to tell, but just something to watch, you know.
we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
We got the Buccaneers going up to play the Jets. Tyrod Taylor is going to be playing this game. We just got news a couple hours ago that Justin Fields will officially be out because he's in concussion protocol.
Man,
That dang.
so many quarterbacks.
But this is what happens. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes week 1 or week 2, a team really pops off. A team that we don't expect pops off, and it's like, oh dang, where did this guy come from? And you have to
Right.
sort of take what you have because it's early in the season and be like, okay, give him a chance. Start
Mhm.
this guy, start that guy. I said start Justin Fields, start Brees Hall, start Garrett Wilson, start everybody. And sometimes that's just what they are. They're blips in the radar. I'm not saying that's what the Jets are right now, but they looked completely the opposite to what they were in week 1, even before Fields got hurt.
Yeah. For real.
So this is a team where we're going to have to see what they actually are. And they're going up against a 2-0 Bucks team that
Yeah.
even against a tough defense, they toughed it out. They got a last second touchdown. All the guys that you would expect to be in their positions are still in the same spots. Mayfield, Irving, Mike Evans, Igbuka, they're all pretty much starters.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. I don't have too much to say here, really. I think most people kind of know what to expect from these teams at this point. Um, and Mbuka, uh, you have him here in the flex spot, and I can understand that. Um, but I think he's a fringe flex start,
He is.
you know. So I just, yeah, just had to say that. But I think, yeah, I really like Irving. He's proved himself enough, I think, in the last couple games, for him to kind of be that guy everyone thought he could be. So that's exciting. And yeah, I really like this Bucks team.
We're still waiting on a game for like Bucky Irving to like really go off. I think this might be a chance that could be that game.
Could be.
I want to
Yeah,
see it. I'm excited, man. I want to see Bucky.
me too, man. I think everyone loves Bucky. I've never met anyone that hasn't had an affection for Bucky.
Yeah. Everybody loves Bucky.
Yeah.
But man, maybe there's going to be a new fantasy darling coming out in the name of Danny Dimes. We got the Colts taking on the Titans with backup QB crisis going along the league. People are going to be looking for streamers, for flex starters. Daniel Jones, to the chagrin of many, has proven himself to be a worthy fantasy starter,
Mhm.
at least for this week, going up against the 0-2 Titans.
Yeah. He used to be Danny Dimes. Then he was Danny Pennies. And now he's Danny Dimes again.
I
Okay.
always said Danny Nichols. I always
That's
like
good.
Nichols.
Nichols is good too. Um, but yeah, it's interesting to watch. And part of me doesn't believe it, but when you watch it on tape, it's like, okay,
They haven't punted.
this guy's good.
The team hasn't punted in 2 games.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It is wild. And I think Daniel was a pretty high waiver wire ad this week too. Because he
Had to be.
was on the waiver wire. He was. So yeah, that's encouraging, and it's encouraging for his weapons, you know? Um, obviously, Downs is going to get some production. Pittman, of course. Um, and Jonathan Taylor looks extremely good too,
Yeah,
which I was
easy.
kind of a bit surprised, but he's one of those guys that, you kind of just expect to do well. I just thought he was he gets hurt a lot, so I thought something would have happened to him by now personally, but he looks good.
Hey man, it's 2 weeks into the year. Give him some credit.
Yeah, that's true. No, you're right. Uh, you can't sleep on that guy, but Tyler Warren is great too. I mean, he's everything people expected him to be. So,
He looks like a guy that's going to be their tight end for the next 5 to 10 years.
mhm.
He looks like their number one receiving option. And you have Downs and Pittman. They're in flex spots. Not that I think they aren't good. They've actually both been pretty good these first couple
Yeah,
of
they
weeks,
have.
but they're a bit inconsistent in terms of who's going to be the better of that week.
Right.
It seems like it splits between Pittman and Downs. So that's why they're kind of both bunched in there of
Yeah.
we just need to see a little bit more of if either one steps out more in front of the other.
Mhm.
Or maybe it
Totally
could
agree.
just be
Yeah.
both.
Could be. Could be.
Ti Titan side, you got Tony Pollard as the only start. Once again, the only like super convincing start. Calvin Ridley. Listen, Calvin, I'm giving you one last chance here. Okay, I get it. You faced some good defenses the last couple of weeks. I'm putting you in flex. If you're bold enough, you can put him in a flex spot this week. Colts defense isn't quite as strong as his last couple, so we can see: is he gonna get the targets? Is he gonna get some yards? If it's not this week, I'm moving you to sit until you show me something else. Come on, man.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
No, we got to see more from him. It's just it's just tough. Um, yeah. I think I think this is a team that's still putting it together though, obviously.
Yeah.
A bunch of different types of guys. And so hopefully Ridley makes that next step up. But I am kind of encouraged by the guy below him, Alec Amenwar.
Yeah. Who's
This last
outproduced
game
him?
he did pretty well. But I did notice it was the first half that he got pretty much all of his points
He did get that crazy touchdown catch though, which
in the
Cam
first
Ward
half.
easily biggest highlight of the last 2 games where he
Yeah.
just as he was like going down on the side, he just chucks it across the side of his body
Hmm.
halfway across the field and then Amon Wars there is just to catch the ball.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty cool.
So he was another um, top waiver wire ad, I think, in the wide receiver category. So yeah, we'll see. We do need to see more from these guys, though. You know, for them to get in that start category. So, and you have Tony in the start.
I think he's still worth as long as like
Yeah.
Tajay Spears is out. I still think he's worth starting
See, I agree.
for right now,
Mhm. I
but we'll
agree.
we'll we'll see.
I don't think he's ever going to get a touchdown for some reason because, well, not for some reason, but it's because, they just don't get far enough for him to get that goal line work.
Hey man, Joey Sly.
But, dude, Joey,
S-
what was his last name again?
Sly.
Sly. Yeah.
Top kicking option.
Dude, can't say
See,
enough good things about that
here,
guy.
here's some kicker advice, real quick. You don't. Everybody thinks you should get the kicker of the great offense. No, you get the kicker of the team that's good enough to go down the field, but not good enough to score points.
Yeah.
It's the perfect in between. The Steelers have been the masters of this for years. It's why Chris Boswell is just the best.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's it's an art, you know.
It's an absolute art
Art of
form
the
to
kicker
be.
is it's an interesting thing, but definitely Sly has been that guy. I don't even think he's number one, but he's definitely top 3 or 5 at least. And I will put so much money on the fact that he will stay in the top 5 for kickers this year,
To me,
just
it's the
because
yeah.
of how bad they are. Yeah.
To me, it's the art of the mid offense,
True.
perfectly evenly mid.
Yeah. It is an
We
art, yeah, to stay that mid.
we got some more games to talk about here. We got the Raiders going up against the Commanders. First, before we start, a moment of silence for Austin Eckler after his season-ending injury. All right,
And
moment of silence. But that opens up the way for Bill Krosky Merritt.
yep.
There's now no Brian Robinson. There's no Austin Eckler. There's not even Chris Rodriguez.
Yeah.
It's just Bill.
Yep. And he's gonna take it home.
Hopefully. Now we have to mention
Hopefully.
Jaden Daniels because he has an ankle sprain of his own.
Mhm.
Currently, they said he's not uh, able to practice until Friday. He's probably going to be a game time decision. If he does or does not play, it could significantly affect this offense. Even if he plays, his running production could be significantly hampered.
Yeah.
So it's likely if you have Jane Daniels, you'll probably still take the risk and start him, but
Mhm.
check to see who you have on your roster. Honestly, I think I might do like Drake May. If you have like Drake May in there and Jaden Daniels, I would do Drake May over Jaden if he plays.
Yeah.
Because
I'm with
the
that.
running's huge and the offense hasn't been like as explosive these first couple weeks as it looked last season.
Yeah. It is definitely kind of a new team with these wide receivers and you know, obviously the running back game. Hopefully, I think a step up is gonna happen in the running back game with Bill, but we'll
Mm,
have to see on that one. But yeah, for now, I think it's safe to kind of just take definitely McLaren in there, Terry.
McLaren,
And Debo is just such a gadget guy that I can't see him not getting the ball and just kind of producing. So
I think
I like
McLaurin,
those.
we do have to keep that option open. This week, we do have to closely look at what he does because the first 2 weeks he has not done really a whole lot at all.
Mhm.
And there is a bit of concern. There is a bit of panic around some fantasy managers. I'd say start him this week. It might seem risky, but let's see what he can do, whether Daniels is there or Mariota's there. Raiders are not as strong of a defense.
Yeah.
If he has another bad week, then yeah, maybe there should be more of a discussion of maybe this
Mhm.
guy should be more of a fringe wide receiver flex until we figure out what's going on.
Right. Right.
Same
Fair.
with Same with Ertz. But that's just more of if Jane Daniels is not playing because those two have such a great connection.
Yeah. Exactly. It. They do have a good connection. It is tough to sleep on Ertz just because he's Zach Ertz, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'd say he's a low end uh, tight end start this week for sure.
On the Raiders side, dude, you gotta play Genty. Even if you don't want to, yeah, you don't have a choice. You draft him in the first round. You have to play
Yeah.
Genty. Um, there is talk they're gonna want to run the ball a bit more on the offense. That is the plan.
Hmm.
Maybe Genty's just taking a little bit of time to catch up to speed with everything. You know, he's definitely not a great pass blocker. Have you seen that one clip of him on Monday Night Football where he just watched as Geno Smith got sacked? He was like,
Yeah.
"No, no."
Right.
He's not meant for pass blocking,
Mm,
but I, you just have to hope it gets better.
yeah, you do. You do. And, you know, at times you could see it. You could see him because he does get the production. He just needs to produce, and I think he probably will.
And maybe they do need to lean a bit more on it, because in that game when I was watching the Chargers, Geno Smith, I love that he's a gunslinger. I love that he wants to take chances. It felt like way too many times he was looking for a home run play, and it just never really worked
Mhm.
the whole game. It was not a good game for Geno Smith. Uh,
Yeah,
so I think they need to dial it back and focus a bit more on the consistency.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I can't
I
really see it
agree.
any other way.
Yep.
We should move on here. We got the Broncos and the Chargers. Jake, are the Chargers just that good? I think they're just that good, man.
Honestly, bro, I think they're that good. And okay, honestly, because here's been their thing, bro. Their wide receivers have been the thing that they've needed these past few years, right? I
Yeah.
think they're at a level with the receivers, um, to where they're clicking. All right, everything's
They're,
kind of going well. You know when Quentin Johnston is getting fed the ball and he's actually catching it, good
dude,
thing will
he
happen.
looks awesome right now.
He looks really good. Yeah,
He looks so good. And with this trio of receivers,
yeah.
with Justin Herbert playing the way he's playing, this pass offense is going to
Mhm.
be awesome. It might be a little riskier this time. They're going up against the Broncos.
Yeah.
Pat Surtain, one of the toughest pass defenses. Tough
Mhm.
division matchup. We'll see. Uh, we have to talk about Hampton. Hampton is no longer an automatic start to me right now. And that might be a lot coming out of the first couple weeks, but I watched as Najee Harris is getting more involved in the run game. Hampton made a very bad fumble late in this game when they should have won it, and that
Yeah.
stuff's not going to help. It feels like a team that wants to do a 50-50 timeshare
Mhm.
right now. And to me, unless you're getting home run production, which we haven't seen from Hampton yet, that's not starter running back material yet.
Yeah, and I think it makes sense for them to go this route, just so they can see what they still have left in the tank for Harris. Um, oftentimes we talked about this with Henderson,
Yeah,
you know. It's a similar situation um with Henderson and Ramondre. Like they Harris is still a decent back, so you kind of want to see what you have for him, you know, have in him. So I understand that from a team perspective. From a fantasy perspective, it is tough to um to go with Hampton, but you kind of have to because he was what the second best running back in this draft class.
I know.
I think he's due for breakout soon, and you wouldn't want to miss that. So I would say start him. Um,
It,
yeah.
it it's just a weird position. I think we fell in love with him after that Najee Harris eye fiasco.
Mhm.
And we thought, oh man, he's going to come in and now he's going to be the starter and he's going to get all the touches. And it's going to take some time for Najee to truly get in there.
Yeah.
And by the time he does, Hampton will have already secured his spot and he really didn't. And
No,
that's the biggest issue. I think
it
we
is.
we we bought into our own hype a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what the fantasy community does. I mean,
That is true.
Travion Henderson started getting taken in the third round in the last couple weeks of drafts. I love Travion Henderson. In no world would I have drafted him in the third round.
Looking back on it, like looking
No,
back.
no, no, not even looking back on it. I was thinking that was too high even in the
Mhm.
moment.
Yeah. People overvalue rookies so much,
Yeah.
and especially running back rookies. It's tough for them because the NFL is so different than college. But it's okay. Like he's still going to get the ball. These guys are still going to get the ball, and they're still going to, do what they can with it. So we just have to see. It's too early to tell, for sure. But ride with them if you think that they could do something good.
Yeah.
It's totally in your ballpark to decide. Yeah, and on the flip side of things, looking at the Broncos, Dobbins is looking pretty good.
Dobbins is looking pretty good. That's why I have him in fringe start flex territory,
Yeah.
because we'll see as the season goes along. But right now, his production's doing very good, and a lot more than RJ Harvey at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was kind of expecting that too. And see, that's another case of the rookie with the established vet. Like it makes sense for teams to do this type of thing. But
Yeah.
Dobbins is good. I think that was to be expected. He's a pretty explosive guy.
We got Bo Nix, ride or die, baby. I'm sticking
Yeah,
with him. I'm sticking with him until I
I'm
see something
sticking.
different.
Yeah, bro.
Same with Cortland Sutton. Do the same. That
Yeah.
that was an outlier game. He's not going to have a lot of games where he just has one reception.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen a lot.
No. And he got looks like he almost got a touchdown, I think.
Yeah.
For he got like 2 tries on almost getting a touchdown. So, I feel like the looks are there, but when you have other guys like Troy Franklin and Marvin Mims out there, when Sutton is, taking a lot of uh, the action of the uh, defenders, I think it just makes sense for some games, for Franklin and Mims to go off, and that happened with Troy, and that was awesome to see for him for fantasy. There are a lot of people that are saying that Troy's taken the slot of Marvin Mims to be that wide receiver too. What do you think
He,
about that?
I think it's very possible. He's definitely on the field more than Marvin Mims last week.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, Marvin Mims was like, he was a certain amount of targets per game. He usually would get like 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
If you're starting to get close to double digits like Franklin was, then things change. Things can
definitely.
change very quickly. And if he established that connection with Bo Nix like he did in Oregon, then I don't see any reason why he shouldn't be that number 2.
Exactly. Yeah, I
Yeah.
completely agree. I think Marvin is an interesting option, but I think he should be looked at as the number 3 because um Bo really wasn't even looking to him, you know, an absurd amount last season for him to have that role. It was kind of like the same consistency going into this season, just like 4 or 5 targets, right?
Yeah.
And not much more than that. Um, so yeah, Franklin looks good. His route running ability, I was pretty impressed by it this last game. So he's a fun ad. I'm sure a lot of people already took him off the waiver wire though. So
Yeah. I'm sure he's going to be an interesting. That's why he's in flex. He'll be interesting for this
yeah,
week.
exactly.
Let's speed here a little bit. We got the Seahawks going up against the Saints. Man, we got our win. It looked good. It felt good.
Yep.
Njigba's a superstar. Just straight
Yeah.
up. I'm going to take him off the list next week if he has another decent performance, even
Mhm.
half decent. The dude is ready to jump into that cream of the crop.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's the favorite target for sure.
I don't think it's even that different. Darnold, I was stuck between start and sit, only because maybe outside of Njigba, I haven't seen a lot from anyone else in the passing game step up too much. Like little bits of Torrey Horton here and there. Cooper Cup's done okay. But in order for him to be super viable, I want to see slightly more.
Yeah. I feel like he's ramping up. Like the team is ramping up to kind of have the pass attack a little more prevalent. Um, each game seems to be that way with who's stepping up. Like you said, Torrey Horton and Cooper Kupp. So if we could see more out of those guys this week, I think Sam, could be considered a flex start next week. But yeah, we do need to see more. I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the Charbonnet Walker. Last week it looked like Walker did very bad and Charbonnet did very good, and it was a complete flip this week. Walker had over 100 yards and a touchdown. Charbonnet had
Yeah.
like 11 yards on 12 carries. It
Mhm.
was complete flip. So right now
Yeah.
I just have them both in flex because I don't know who's going to do well this week at all.
Right. And I think you shouldn't have it out of your mind that they're not going to be splitting
Yeah.
carries. Um, someone might be doing better than someone one week, uh, and then it just flips. But I don't see them completely just going with one running back here, and that's why I think it is justified for them to be here.
Even on the Saints side, for most of their passing game, I do actually believe in our Seahawks secondary to be very good this season. So I'm not going to invest too much in a lot of places. Flex Olave, still in the flex spot, because that's his favorite spot. Uh, and Jawan Johnson, he's the only guy where I'd be like, he's my start tight end of the week. He's been the number 2 tight end through 2 weeks. He has looked so good. And we do actually have a weakness at tight end, covering certain tight ends. So I can definitely see him popping off a little bit in this game.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, but everything else has stayed the same. I think we can move on here.
Yeah.
Got Cowboys going up against the Bears. If we go on to the Bears side, look, I know Caleb Williams is not a fun pick to watch. He's a guy that he has not looked great in the last couple of games, but man, he works for fantasy, doesn't he? He's top 10 right now.
Yeah.
He technically is. It doesn't matter if his teams get blown out.
Yeah.
You know,
That's true.
a broken clock is right twice a day.
Dang.
So I'd still, with all the injuries going around to quarterbacks, I'd still say start him and start Adunze. Adunze was awesome last week, and he has 3 touchdowns on the year.
He's looking good.
Start wide
looking
receiver
good.
of the week.
Yeah.
Moore, I think that's a misprint there. I think I meant to put him in flex, but I kept him in both start and flex. But I'm thinking that's kind of where he is. Fringe starter, but probably more flex right now until I
Uh-huh.
see more, because it looks like Adunze might overtake him.
Yep. Agreed.
And Cowboys, actually, their run defense has been pretty solid so far this season. So maybe not play DeAndre Swift, and Colston Loveland hasn't done anything yet at all. Like, at all. He had nothing last game.
Yeah, he's been disappointing, but honestly, I get it. I was thinking going in this season that there's just too many targets. And I think there are just a lot of targets. And Caleb seems to like who he likes, and he likes Odunze and more. So until we see otherwise, I think Loveland should stay in the sit category.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And on the Cowboys side, it's kind of the same. But considering what the Bears have done the last couple weeks, I think the pass game should be in line for something big here. Jake Ferguson, I was debating whether to start him or sit him. Because I still want a touchdown, man. Can he give me a touchdown?
Yeah, dude, honestly, for him not getting a touchdown, I feel like his production's been pretty good for a
He
tight
he
end.
he definitely did decent the last game, but there was like over 400 yards passing, so
Yeah,
I think maybe that played a part in it. I want to see just a
it
tiny
probably
bit
did.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I understand that.
Javonte Williams, hey, if he has another great game, maybe you should sell high on him.
Dude, honestly, he's looking good.
He is, but
His he's got that pizzazz that he used to have. And it just feels like he's back. to where he was before he got that injury. So that's exciting to see.
He
I,
could
I
be.
like him a lot.
It's a little weird. He's one of those guys where I almost feel like I think the numbers for me, I think the numbers jump off a bit more than what I see in the
Yeah,
games.
I
But
agree.
that, but I can't deny what he's been able to do the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We got the Cardinals going up against the Niners. If you notice on the Niners side, I just added an IR spot. Just straight up IR. Purdy gone, Kittle gone, Ayuk gone. Mac Jones is playing. You're not starting Mac Jones. Pearsall,
I'd be
Pearsall and
seriously
Jennings.
concerned for your mental health if you're starting Mac Jones.
Pearsall and Jennings are the only people you should consider starting. Jennings actually had a pretty good game against the Saints last week.
Yeah.
And then on the Cardinal side here, oh, look at you, Cardinals. You barely escaped a struggling Panthers team. I haven't seen anything that really changes too much. Connor, I know he's been statistically doing well, but I'd still put him as a fringe starter right now.
Yeah.
I
And
don't know.
I agree. He also kind of scares me with the emergence of Benson, even though Benson hasn't even been doing too much.
Yeah.
I just see him as like, oh, if anything happens to Connor, if he gets like a lack of production or he gets hurt, especially or whatever, we're gonna see more Benson, and that just it seems week to week for me. Um, so yeah, it's tough for me to be high on Connor
Yeah.
these days.
Also, Marv, listen to me. Look at me. What are you doing, man? I gave you a chance to get out of the flex spot and
Yeah,
you ruined it. You
dude,
ruined it, man.
we really thought, man, we
You're stuck here for
really
at
thought.
least another 2 weeks.
Yeah,
At
oof,
least.
yes, pool jail for sure.
Full flex jail is where he is,
Oh
man.
yeah.
We're moving on to Sunday Night Football. We have two struggling 0-2 teams, the Chiefs taking on the Giants. I don't know what your thoughts are, but for me, I just don't think this is going to be a very good offensive matchup, which might be a little bit different considering how many people saw the Giants game. And Russell Wilson, 450 yards. Robinson did so good. Neighbors was amazing. Cam Scatterboot got a touchdown.
Mhm.
I have to look at what I've seen the last couple of years of these players
Yeah.
and Russell Wilson, this team, and they're going up against a tough Chiefs defense on Sunday Night Football.
Mhm.
I just don't know if they're up to the task yet.
Yeah. I think it's. I don't want to count them out. Honestly, I'm not counting them out
Yeah.
because they looked so good last game. It looked like their team was just together, and that's kind of powerful to see. Um, as much as of a one-off as I would statistically like to call it, I just think that they are just really becoming a team and looking pretty good. So I don't know. I wouldn't count them out. Um, and honestly, I just think the Chiefs are getting worse and worse.
Dude, they don't look great right now. That's
They
why I
don't
have the
look
double
good.
sit up for them too. It's
Yeah.
just well, with no Worthy, it feels like this offense just has nothing there. Even Kelsey.
Yeah.
And some people might be thinking, why sit Kelsey going up against the Giants? I just don't see it. I don't see the vision.
Yeah. Dude,
I'm not on it.
I'm not on it either. And their run game is so pathetic. It's like,
Pacheco has been I that is a perfect word. It has been pathetic.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I was kind of calling that, bro. I was calling
Dude,
the Pacheco thing, dude. And
I
honestly, bro, a lot of people didn't want to believe it.
I
But
was
look at
giving
him,
him
bro.
another chance. I wanted to give him another chance, but man,
He was he looked like he could have been good coming out of training camp, okay? But this ain't training camp, okay? He's gotten like what? Under 4 points per
I
In
I think
fantasy, it's
I
terrible.
think if he faces a terrible run defense, I can't start him. I can't under any
No, you
circumstance
can't
recommend
start him.
starting him, but I at least want to see what he does against a bad defense because he's faced the
See,
Chargers and the
I get that.
Eagles.
Yeah,
That's the only thing. That's all.
that's understandable.
I'm grasping at straws, Jake.
Yeah,
I'm
it
grasping at straws.
no, that's a very fair point. I think it's right to see what he could do here. Um, and yeah, I'm totally with you. But
They could,
also, I think it'd be smart to, maybe start stacking up
yeah,
on the backups on this team. Okay,
yeah,
specifically a little man called Rashard Smith. But that's just me. That's just me.
for
All right,
sure.
just
We'll have
saying.
to see. That's something down the line. We'll have to see. Maybe a
Yeah,
future sleepers video if he's lucky.
exactly, exactly.
Let's end this off right with the Lions and the Ravens Monday Night Football. Finally, some good food. We are feeding in this game. This should be, it should be an offensive shootout. Lions,
Yeah.
Ravens should be perfect.
Mhm. No, it
Now,
should be, bro.
the
It
only thing
should
with the
be.
Ravens is they've been spraying the ball around so much. And, guys like Nuke Hopkins been getting receiving touchdowns. Devontae
Mhm.
Walker, 2 receiving touchdowns? Where did that
Yeah,
come from?
his only 2 receptions
His
were
only 2 receptions
receiving
on two
touchdowns.
touchdowns. So
Crazy.
it's still one of those situations of I'd play Flowers this week because I think it's going to be a shootout.
Mhm.
Likely watch to see if he's ready and available. If he's good to play, I'd actually recommend picking him up off waiver wires because you never know. The team actually is really high on him to evolve into a bigger role because right now Andrews is not it.
Yeah.
He's had 1 reception in 2 straight games. I am not sold on him anymore. I was never sold on him, but now I'm really not.
Mhm.
That's just what it is.
Yeah, I agree. No, it's tough to really be on anyone outside of Flowers and,
Yeah.
of course, Lamar
And then everybody on the Lions is exactly who you'd expect to be there.
and Derek. Yeah.
Yeah. Gibbs, Goff, Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta, all starts. David Montgomery, hey, he got his first touchdown of the game like he did last week. He's a flex guy. And Isaac Tesla, keep an eye on him.
Yep.
But that's basically what it is. And we are all done here. We finished up 20 minutes or less.
Yeah. Super quick.
Dang. Hey, we
Man,
got this, man.
good stuff, bro. Good stuff. This is gonna be an exciting week, bro.
A
I'm gonna be
lot.
honest.
I think these next couple weeks we're gonna really find out what is going on with some of these teams. We're gonna
Yeah.
see what's just like, outliers, little blips, and what's like the reality checks.
Yeah. It's gonna be good. And man, the season comes and goes, man. It part of me is like it's week 3. Like I'm excited to see to keep it going. Keep it going. Like what's next? But then part of me is like, oh geez, it's week 3 and then it's gonna be week 4 and season's gonna be over soon. So
Oh, dude,
I'm
we
just
are
trying to
just starting.
live in the moment, bro. We got to live in the moment.
Gots to live in the moment.
Yeah.
You can follow us on Instagram, on X, on TikTok. You can listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If all else is said and done, in a complex world, just stay simple, my friends.
Mm-hmm. Stay simple.
All right, goodbye and good night.